Welcome to the Kids Eating Broccoli podcast, where we believe that raising healthy kids shouldn't be complicated. Our mission is to inspire 20 million families worldwide to take the steps to raise the healthiest generation in our history. We'll interview some of the world's leading experts in nutrition, human potential, and children's health, as well as extraordinary chefs and foodies to gain insight into simple, fun, and creative ways to introduce natural health into homes across this planet. Hey everyone, Dr. Brad here from Kids Eating Broccoli podcast and drellisor.com. And for today's topic, I wanted to touch on my top 5 supplements for your ADHD kiddos, and the one that is conspicuously missing from this list, which we'll get to at the end. And I'll say this, I'll say a couple things. I'm going to give you my list of 5 here in a moment. These aren't just my top 5 only for ADHD kiddos. These are really the top 5 for general body health, brain health, gut health. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. And if you follow my other work and so forth, you may be surprised that I'm even doing this one about top supplements, because a lot of times when we talk about, what supplements for kids and all these things, it becomes individual, specific to the situation, what they have going on, nutritional deficiencies, so on and so forth. So these 5 that I'm going to list for you in a minute and talk about each one are really universal. And I'll get into why that's so for each of them. But I also want to say that there's a lot in the world of, probably any condition. Good afternoon, Rick. That, any condition you're involved in, people are like, oh, what's the best supplement for this? What can I do here? Because we want a magic pill. We want one thing that's going to solve our problem. We'd rather have a natural version of a pharmaceutical, but it's not really the case with supplements. However, with these 5 things, these are things that everybody can use for the most part. I mean, there may be some exceptions. So let's jump in. So the list of 5. So number 1 is a supplement called Restore. Now, I like to talk about this one a lot, and this is a powerful, potent, groundbreaking, remarkable, and very unique supplement for gut health. Not just for gut health, but for full body health, but it begins in the gut. So Restore, you can find. I'm going to put links for all of these below. But Restore, you can find at the website restore4life.com, restoreforlife.com, and it is a stabilized extract of fossilized soil, basically. And so, without spending the rest of our time together explaining what that means, here's what I'll tell you. Essentially, Restore restores the communication network that would naturally be there between all your bacteria, all your funguses, all your viruses, parasites, and your own body's immune and digestive system cells. So if you think about your microbiome, your gut, as this one intelligent system, it's really a collection of over 1 million different species of organisms, including the human cells. But for it to function as a unified system, for your body to have health and balance, there has to be a way that all these different types of species and organisms can share information. Like a certain type of bacteria breaks down a certain type of fiber, creates a certain type of chemical in a particular amount of balance. Well, the other organisms around need to be able to experience that, take that information, and so they know more about their environment. 70% of our immune system lives on our gut lining, and so it's a big part of how our brain and our nervous system and our whole body interacts with our external environment. And so how we communicate with the bacteria, funguses, viruses, parasites, and our own cells is vital to the overall health of our gut. And the health of our gut has a huge part to play in the health of our brain, the health of our body, health of our immune system, and our overall function. And when we're talking about our ADHD kiddos, a huge part to play in behavior. So number 1 is the supplement Restore. Number 2 is a magnesium supplement. Now, the reason I say that the reason the magnesium falls onto the list of ones that are pretty much going to be good for anyone is that in my opinion, essentially the entire population is magnesium deficient. I've seen estimates of 80 or 90% deficiency, and there's a number of reasons for this. One of those is that, which is sort of why Restore is good too, but our topsoil has been depleted for quite a long time. And then with chemical farming, there's chemical fertilizers and stuff to make plants still grow, but they're not getting the mineral absorption out of the environment. So that's a big thing. We're not getting magnesium in our food. We also should be getting it through our skin, through swimming and bathing in like natural streams and the ocean and so forth. We don't do a lot of that. And there's a bunch of other environmental toxins that strip away magnesium, but basically what it leaves us with is a magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals in the body. It's got its fingers in thousands of chemical interactions. And a deficit of magnesium can cause things like sleeplessness, difficulty sleeping, insomnia. Those are all sleep-related things, but hyperactivity, difficulty with neural processing, and so on and so forth. Now, with magnesium, it's important to get, if you're going to take it supplementally, to get the right kind. So the three types that I recommend are magnesium glycinate, magnesium threonate, and magnesium malate. I would, as far as internally, there's things like Epsom salts, which is magnesium chloride, I think, and that's fine topically to soak in the baths. That's a great thing to do. But as far as supplementally, you want to go with only those three: magnesium glycinate, magnesium threonate, magnesium malate. I prefer personally glycinate the most. I think it's the most well-balanced form. But you want to avoid some of the other ones that are out there. There's this popular product called Calm that I used to be a fan of, then I learned more about. Citrate and citric acid and so forth, and I'm not a fan of it anymore. So I would go with those others. Again, like Restore, if we got into the inner workings of why those those different types, what they do in the body, it would be our whole time together. There is a Facebook group called the Magnesium Advocacy Group, I think it's called, that dives like super deep into the world of magnesium if you want to learn more. So magnesium. So number 3 is lion's mane mushrooms, or lion's mane mushroom extract. So lion's mane is an amazing mushroom. If you've ever seen a picture of one, it kind of looks like a white lion's mane. That's where it gets its name from. But it's shown incredible ability to cause for brain function improvement, increased neural connectivity, and a lot of brain function benefits. So this is something you could eat. It's a culinary mushroom that has the medicinal aspects, but I would recommend, if you're looking at it for a supplement, to get an extract. So a lot of extracts are liquids, and you take drops or you spray them. There's also pills of lion's mane mushroom. You can grow it in your bathroom, like I am, but because it's humid in there. But really, to get the medicinal benefits, you want to be taking it regularly. So a wonderful brand is called Host Defense, and they have lion's mane by itself. They have lion's mane in combinations with others, but lion's mane and some of the other medicinal mushrooms are powerful. But that one for brain, for behavior, for brain inflammation, and for kids' health, I would go with a lion's mane mushroom or mushroom extract. Number 4 is CBD oil, cannabidiol. And the reason for that one to make this list is that about 25 years ago, a whole new system was discovered in the human body, and that was called the endocannabinoid system. So this is a profound event that a new system was discovered. We have these other systems: immune system, digestive system, nervous system. The endocannabinoid system is on par with that in terms of being an entire system unto itself. They found receptor sites and activity in all of the major other systems of the body. So the brain and central nervous system, all of the visceral organs, the muscles, so on and so forth, all have endocannabinoid receptor sites. What scientists have figured out about what the endocannabinoid system is that it's really, they call the master homeostasis system of the body, really, which means the master balancing system in the body. So and so what that means is then, if things are running too high in one area of the body, too active, too overactivated, the endocannabinoid system will calm them down. And if things are too sluggish and slow or underactivated, the endocannabinoid system will fire them up. So that's why we see all these wide-ranging benefits, everything from pain and inflammation to sleep benefits to skin improvements to mental things, mental abilities like Alzheimer's and dementia, and even with ADHD and autistic symptoms, over to help with type 2 diabetes and so on and so forth. And because what CBD does when we're taking internally like a supplement, supplementally on an ongoing basis, is it helps our endocannabinoid system, which is the master regulatory system of the body, to be regulated. So it's like the regulation of the regulatory system. And it can have profound impacts on the overall homeostasis or the dynamic balance of a person's system in their body. So that's number 4. Number 5 is cod liver oil. So omega-3s are important for brain building. You may have heard of that with fish oils or things like flax seeds and those type of things. Cod liver oil has a good ratio, a natural ratio of omega-3s in it, but it also importantly has very important fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A and D in particular, has vitamin E as well. And these are vital for the proper function and development of a child's brain. Cod liver oil is also very good at helping our body to detoxify, our liver to detoxify from environmental pollutants and toxins and heavy metals. And so this is my preferred method to give my kids omega oils, is cod liver oil, because you get the cofactors and the cofactors and those fat-soluble vitamins, which are so vital and so important to their brain and their hormone function. Now, you want to make sure it's a good quality cod liver oil. I typically recommend or use Nordic Naturals. There's also Carlson's and a few other brands. In the past, I want to say this disclaimer, you may have heard me talk about fermented cod liver oil. I no longer recommend that. I've heard some troubling things about it. I would say let's stick with the not fermented, just cleanly extracted and tested, like Nordic Naturals and Carlson's and other brands like those. So those are the 5. We have Restore, Magnesium, Lion's Mane mushroom, CBD oil, cod liver oil. Those are the 5 top supplements I would recommend to really anyone, but now we're talking about our kiddos with ADHD symptoms. Those can make a tremendous difference, help the body balance, heal, be in proper function. You may notice that the missing supplement, the conspicuous absence from my list, is anything related to probiotics. Probiotics are a controversial supplement topic these days, believe it or not. And here's the thing about it, is that the more research that people are actually doing into what probiotics do in the system, how they function, the less the evidence points towards this being a useful thing. And in fact, it seemed like, well, probiotics maybe not that helpful, maybe are, but definitely when you have something like an antibiotic exposure, so you wipe everything out, it's got to be good to give probiotics to sort of repopulate the area. But there was just recently a study released where they took a big population of people who had a course of antibiotics and it's broke them into 2 groups, and one just did their normal life and the other one was given a probiotic supplement. And the non-probiotic group, their gut bacteria, their gut environment returned to how it was prior to the antibiotics in about 60 days. The probiotic group, the ones who were taking the probiotics, after 6 months had still not recovered from that antibiotic exposure. That's problematic. And to me, the big thing with our gut and our microbiome is the diversity. The diversity seems to be the key factor for health. So when we're taking probiotics, we're ignoring the fact that a diverse population should have, or a diverse biome should have 20 to 40,000 bacteria, let alone close to 1 million different types of fungus, so on and so forth. And so when we're taking a pill over and over with only 5, 10, 12, 15, maybe at the most, species, over and over again, we're really decreasing our diversity rather than increasing that diversity. Now, do I think that at some point down the road, maybe we'll have a better understanding of how the bacteria and the funguses work in there, and maybe can craft supplements, bacterial, probiotic type things that will be universally beneficial? It's certainly possible. Restore is a different type of thing, but it does help that whole system in its diversity, and that's why I recommend that. Though it's sterile, there are no probiotics, no bacteria in there at all. So those are the top 5 I wanted to share, plus the one conspicuous absence. So hopefully that's helpful. Like I said, I'll put links below to all of those if you want to check them out and see the ones I recommend, the brands and so forth. And you're certainly welcome to put any questions down there, shoot me an email, that type of thing. Otherwise, I'm going to check off for today, and I'll see you later. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today for this episode of the Kids Eating Broccoli podcast. Hope you gained some good value out of it. If you did, or if you like our podcast, please go to iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever it is you listen to podcasts, and leave a review and a rating, because that'll tell us that you're enjoying the content and you're getting something out of it. And it also helps other parents or other people like you be able to find us so they can gain that same value. So we really appreciate you. And this episode was brought to you today by CBD oil from HempWorks. HempWorks CBD oil is from organically grown, U.S. grown hemp. It is CO2 extracted, so no solvents or harsh chemicals. And every batch is independently third-party tested, which is really the main reason why I decided to partner with them to offer CBD oil products for people that I work with. So you can find out more or order some by going to drellisorcbd.com. That is DRELLISORCBD.com. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.